Welcome to Homework Lib.
The following chemical reaction associated to the precipitation of a rhodium compound. We're going to begin with rhodium sulfate in aqueous solution plus sodium hydroxide that is going to produce two equivalents of rhodium hydroxide as a solid, plus 3 of sodium sulfate. In this case, the sodium sulfate is not going to matter to us because what we want to know is the theoretical yield of mass of rhodium hydroxide coming from an initial amount of 0.5 grams of rhodium sulfate and 0.1 grams of sodium hydroxide. To know the theoretical yield, what we want to know is the amount required in grams to react for each of them. So what we're going to calculate is the amount of mole of the sulfate. I'm going to abbreviate this as salt just for not writing down the full chemical formula in each of the steps. For rhodium sulfate, we're going to have a molar mass of 494 grams per mole. For sodium hydroxide, we're going to get 40 grams per mole. And finally, for the hydroxide, that is the other compound that we care about, the molar mass is equal to 154 grams per mole. So the amount of mole of rhodium sulfate is equal to the mass divided by the molar mass. In this case, 0.5 grams divided by 494 grams per mole. In a similar way, for sodium hydroxide, we're going to have 0.1 grams divided by 40 grams per mole. On the first one, we have 1.012 times 10 to the minus 3 mole, while on the other side, we're going to have 0.1 divided by 40, 2.5 times 10 to the minus 3 mole. In this case, we know that 1 mole of the rhodium sulfate reacts with 6 moles of hydroxide. So this means that the amount of sulfate that we have is enough to react with up to 6.072 times 10 to the minus 3 mole of the hydroxide. So the limiting reagent is going to be sodium hydroxide in this case. So now, since we already have the amount of mole, we know that amount of mole of sodium hydroxide, we know that 6 mole of sodium hydroxide react to generate 2 moles of rhodium hydroxide. And we also know that 1 mole of the rhodium hydroxide is going to have a molar mass of 154 grams per mole. So if we multiply these quantities, in this case the amount of mole of sodium hydroxide is 2.5 times 10 to the minus 3. The amount of grams that we're going to get is the theoretical yield and is equal to 0.128 grams of rhodium hydroxide. This is going to be our theoretical yield, and that would be all. Thank you very much and have a good one.